Hello everybody, thank you ever so much for joining me today. So I'm just having some fun at my craft desk and I thought I'd just put the video on and include you guys in it. So this is going to be very off the cuff. I'm just having some fun with reinkers. Reinkers, I don't know if you don't know, these are what we can refill. We buy these to refill ink pads. These are Stampin' Up ones, so these refill ink pads so that they can be carried on. You can also use them to refill, let me just get these down, Stampin' Right markers, so they can refill these as well to make these last forever basically, until they're worn out at least. And you can also use them as, because they're water based, you can use them for watercolouring, and I love to use them for watercolouring and having fun. So I'm just gonna have a bit of a play and you guys can watch along with me. So I'm just going to show you this cardstock that I've used. I don't know if you can see, it's got a really pretty shimmer to it, and it's actually called shimmery white cardstock. It's fantastic for doing watercolouring on because it doesn't warp and it doesn't bobble or anything. It gives you a really smooth, lovely surface. It's wonderful to stamp on afterwards as well. So these are £9.25 from Stampin' Up. You can click through into my shop in the description box below. Now, to get more for my money, because you get 10 sheets in a pack, to get more for my money, I like to cut them in half and then in half again, and then I half those again, so that I get panels. So I get 8 of these size from one sheet. So, and to give you an idea of the size, this is a A5 card base. So to give you a size, you can have that with a lovely layer and it doesn't look out of place at all on a card, and it just means that you get more bang for your buck basically, because you're cutting it up small. At the end of the day, watercolour cardstock is always expensive because of how it's made, but it just watercolours wonderfully. Look at it. So I just wanted to share that with you. So I use, to watercolour on, I use these are chopping boards from IKEA. I've got a couple of them. I can use both sides and they're fantastic. I've put holes through mine and everything gets hung so that it's beside my craft desk, I can find it. So okay, enough about that. I'm now waffling on. So I'm going to use some fun re-inker colours. So I'm going to use, this one is Highland Heather, Coastal Cabana. I've got Bermuda Bay, which is another. These are the colours on the label, as you can see. Coastal Cabana and Pacific Point. So let's see what we can do with that. So as you can see, I've cut some up here, made some squares, or rectangles should I say, or not square, are they? And just some washi tape. So let's pop some on here. I'm just wondering if I could get 4 on there. No, I can't. Okay, let's just do 2. So I don't buy expensive painter's tape. I use washi tape. I like to save my pennies where I can. Washi tape works fine and it doesn't rip your cardstock when you're trying to lift your watercolour paper back up. Sometimes you do get a little bit of a bleed through. Let me show you here. You can see where I've got it really wet and it has bled through, but I can cut that straight off with the trimmer and you wouldn't notice at all. So long as you really seal it down with your finger. Oops. tell by my really inky fingers that I've been inking all morning. So let me just pop those to one side. Okay, so I'm going to use, I have these water brushes here. I like these. These are the Royal and Langnickel Zen brushes. I've got a set of them. I've got a pot of them here, as you can see. This is the 3/4 flat brush. So all I've got is some plain water in a bowl. I have two bowls. One's a dirty bowl and the other one's a clean water bowl. So clean water, and make your cardstock wet. Just give it a wash straight over, just like so. Now what I have got is bubble wrap. Now this makes a really fun background. Let me just see if I can fit my block in there. Let's try a different block. You can use just anything to pop inside. Just gives it a little bit of extra weight, makes it a stampable surface, it makes it easier to use. So let me pop that in there. So now you have a surface to use, and I'm going to use a block just to put my inks on. So I'm going to put water on my block like that, and then just come in with some colours. So 1 drop Bermuda Bay, 1 drop Highland Heather. I'm going to just drip that in the middle. These last for ages. I've had these for, gosh, a year now, and I haven't even made a dent, and I'm always using them. For re-inking, this is Pacific Point. Right, let's use those 3 colours. So let's see how they come out. So just make sure this is really wet, like so. Now I'm just going to bring this down straight on top of my ink, like so. Do that and just let it bleed. How fun is that? I'm just going to leave that just to let it bleed, and I'm going to bring some water in on this side. Now this time I'm going to just go straight to the block with my brush. And I'm going to paint it on. Now I'm going to put that into the dirty water bowl, wash it really well, and then go into your clean bowl to pick up clean water. Okay, here we go. Highland Heather. I managed to pick up some bits, but it doesn't matter. I will clean that off, like so. Give that a rinse. Clean water. And now the Bermuda Bay, I think it was. I'm just going to let that, I don't know where those pieces have come from. Let me just, perhaps I need to give my brush a good clean. I'm going to grab some tissue. Better yet, I found a baby wipe. Let's just try and wipe those bits of flint off. Just like that. Okay. Give my brush a clean. we go. I'm going to leave that to dry. Well, that's looking fun too, isn't it? Right, I'm just going to pop that to one side, and I've got another board I'm going to bring in, and I'm going to do a couple of different ones. Let's take this down. You can use a heat gun to dry them off a bit if you like, if you're really impatient. I might do that in a minute just for the purpose of the video, but I normally just do it and then I'll leave it to naturally dry for a good few hours before coming back to my desk. Normally means that when my little one's gone down for a nap, I can come back and start stamping. It's lovely and quiet today because she has gone out with her daddy. Right, there we go. Let's have a bit more fun with this. So what you can also do is you don't have to have water down. So let's take this is the bubble wrap that we used with and stamped it into the ink. Just go red, and isn't that fun? Make really fun backgrounds like that. Let's do it like this again. Let's do two and see how we can change them up. So now I'm going to take my flat brush again with some clean water, and this one I am going to add a wash of water over the top to see how much it changes it. Now you can also, I've got a metal straw here, I buy these from Amazon. You can use a straw just to blow, and you can move the ink around. Just leave that to dry. I quite like that as it is. I love the patterns that I'm developing in this. This one here reminds me of a seascape, so I'm going to leave that as it is, and I will probably put something beachy on there. Now, I'm not going to let this ink that's on here go to waste, so I'm going to pop this to one side, and I'm going to grab another one. Now I'm just going to smoosh this straight on to my cardstock. Now I'm going to leave it like that, okay? Just literally leave it as it is, weighed down, and let it dry, because you will get that really pretty pattern come through onto the cardstock. So it's so easy and simple and makes such fun backgrounds. So this one here was using Pacific Point. I've got the Highland Heather is right at the bottom here, so I washed it like this, but as I kept washing over it, it got darker and darker, and then I splattered plain clear water on top and then used a sponge just to take that ink off, and where it soaked it away, you can see the spots on here where it soaked it away, it leaves it lighter. I think it looks like bubbles underwater, so I'm going to do that as like an undersea scene. This is also another wash. This is mostly this is Coastal Cabana, and it is Granny Apple Green, and it, to me, doing washy lines, it looks a bit like looking at fields, so I'll probably do some sort of outdoor scape on that one. This was also like this, literally let it splodge and then spray it with a brush, just flick ink over the top and you get fun inked backgrounds. So I'd love to see you guys have a go. Please post them up on my Facebook page if you do have a go. I'd love to see what you do, or hashtag Corinne Marie Designs in it, and so that I can see them on Instagram. That would be wonderful. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I hope you have lots of fun with this technique. Bye.